Read my lips. No new handhelds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Handheld Rewind, your weekly handheld gaming news show where we rewind the week. We kind of gather up all the news and then I put it all together, throw it back in your face. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover today because CES 2026 has just taken place. So there's a lot of news coming out of CES 2026, but not so much on specifically handhelds, really. I mean, you might be able to say the SteamOS handheld is a new handheld. I don't think so, and we'll get into all that in just a little bit. But how are you guys doing today? It's a Thursday here when I'm filming this, and kind of a little bit of a wild morning here. I live in the great state of Oklahoma, and if you don't know, Oklahoma is basically like Tornado Alley, and we usually get those in like the spring and the fall most of the time, sometimes in the summer too. But you kind of need combinations of different things to happen, and it's been unusually warm here this winter, and we had a bit of a tornado scare here this morning. Everything is totally fine here. Unfortunately, a few homes a little bit north and east of us were destroyed, so you always hate to see that. So I know you're not watching this, but if for those families that are affected, heart goes out to them. Hopefully they can have a smooth sailing with their insurance, get their houses rebuilt, and kind of move forward with their lives. So yeah, bit of a wild morning here, but how are you guys doing? Let me know. Hey, if you would like to write into the show, you can do that at blame.games.hr@gmail.com. You can use that to write in for anything about the show. If I screw something up, if I get some news wrong or whatever, you can correct me via that email. Of course, you can drop a comment if you're watching the YouTube video, but you can also, hey, if there's any particular topic that you want to bring up on the show and discuss, if I miss a news item, anything like that, feel free to use that email to write into the show, and then that way we can get things corrected or maybe read your comment live on the show, stuff like that. Handheld Rewind goes live every week on Friday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, and that is for the podcast, the video version, and the YouTube audio version as well. So both of those will be dropping on YouTube and YouTube Music respectively. If you prefer to listen on your podcast service of choice, those will be dropping the following Monday. So you'll be able to get that on Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, all that kind of stuff on the following Monday. So, hey, with all that kind of stuff out of the way, let's jump into the news because there is a lot of stuff still to talk about. So we are going to just jump headfirst with item number 1 this week, and that is the Legion Go 2 SteamOS model is official. The Legion Go 2, powered by SteamOS, is Lenovo Legion's most powerful handheld to natively ship with SteamOS. Powered by up to an AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor, up to 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, and with up to 2 terabyte PCIe SSD storage. Further expandable, up to an additional 2 terabytes via microSD. Shipping starts in June at a starting price of $11.99. Okay, so the Legion Go 2 SteamOS model is official, and there's a specific detail in there that if you're not paying attention is maybe a little bit upsetting if you haven't gotten your hands on the Windows model yet and you're still trying to do that. So the SteamOS model, it says it starts at $11.99 this coming June, and so what that means is that's probably going to be your Z2 16 gigabyte models, starting at $11.99, which is $100 more than your current Windows version of the Legion Go 2, the 16 gigabyte Z2 model. Or if you live in the US and you are able to get the Costco one, that one does have 32 gigabytes of RAM for that same price. Really great deal. But what that kind of telegraphs to me is that I think the Legion Go 2 prices are going to be going up, and probably pretty quickly, definitely before June, it looks like. So if you're still trying to get your hands on a Legion Go 2, I would definitely suggest check, keep an eye on all those websites, use your hot stock app, stuff like that, to try to get one at Best Buy or BH Photo Video or, Costco is, I think, a really great variant. I'm still in the Best Buy window to return mine. I'm like, man, $250, get those 4 games free. And I don't think I'll be losing all that much really between the Z2 and the Z2 Extreme. I've got like a week to decide. What do you guys think I should do on that? Should I keep my Z2 Extreme model, or should I get my $250 back, get some games, and get that Costco version? Let me know in the comments or right into the show at that email we dropped at the beginning of the video. A couple other things to say about the Legion Go 2 SteamOS model. I'm a little bit surprised with how hard that they've sort of had with manufacturing. Obviously, they haven't been able to make enough of these, that they're going to make specific SteamOS controller variants. I don't know, maybe the controllers are easier to make than the main unit, and that's probably true, but you still got to have separate packaging and stuff like that. So I don't know. Are you guys surprised by that? And I guess if you have one currently that's Windows, are you going to put SteamOS on it? And if so, are you really going to like buy the SteamOS controller a la carte, and so you can use that so you know what the Steam button is? I'm not doing that. That's totally stupid. I probably will put SteamOS on it. I think about dual booting mine kind of all the time, so that may be something that we'll do in the future. And if I decide to do that, we'll definitely cover that like in a how-to guide specifically on the channel. So if you would like to see a how-to step-by-step, everything that you need to do to dual boot or to change over to SteamOS, that's something that you guys want to see, let me know in the comments or write into the show and let me know as well. So that's it for the first story. Let's go ahead and jump into the second story of the day. This comes to us from the ROG press release. This is a bit of a long one. Bear with. The ROG XReal R1 glasses bring gaming into a whole new dimension with the world's first 240Hz micro OLED Full HD displays. The ROG XReal R1 integrates seamlessly into the ROG ecosystem, offering extensive multi-device connectivity via the ROG control deck, including PC, console, and connects to ROG Ally for zero setup giant screen experiences. The 1920 by 1080 resolution, 240Hz refresh rate, and ultra-low 3 millisecond motion to photon latency deliver immersive visuals. The user can enjoy a 171-inch virtual screen at 4 meters with up to a 57-degree wide field of view, while multiple aspect ratio options create an expansive, immersive gaming experience. These are super cool, okay? So I've actually done quite a bit of gaming in virtual reality. You guys might have saw in a previous video, I'm one of the nuts out there that bought an Apple Vision Pro. I don't know why my wife didn't divorce me. She probably should have, but she didn't, thank God. Anyway, I do a lot of what I would call 2D gaming in the Apple Vision Pro. So basically just using it to be like a gigantic like movie theater type screen. I absolutely love playing, especially first-person experiences that way with like a big, giant 2D flat interface. It's absolutely awesome. Like I played Still Wakes the Deep like that completely. So I did like PS5, like kind of remote play into the Apple Vision Pro on that big, gigantic screen. And it's almost like virtual reality, except it's flat. It's kind of hard to describe, but I actually kind of like it better because you can just still focus forward, hold your controller. You're not having to like move your head all over the place. And it's just incredibly immersive. And if you have the chance, I do recommend playing any first-person games this way. So, of course, I've seen these XReal glasses around. There's a couple of other different brands out there, your Vichers and some of that kind of stuff. And I've really been reluctant to pull the trigger on them, again, because I did spend all the money on the Apple Vision Pros. So it's kind of like hard to justify just, big screen glasses. But these ones are super compelling. I mean, I don't really think you need 240 hertz, but, maybe you do have some kind of like a rig where you can do, maybe you're doing 240 hertz on your gaming rig and then game streaming that into your handheld, and then boom, you can do it to the glasses. So, for some people, maybe that is a worthwhile thing, or maybe you can just plug these straight into your computer. I think one of the press images showed that as well. But these are very compelling, and typically the XReals, when I looked at them, I think it was last year when the new ones came out, they like the nicest high-end models. I think they were like $500 or $600. And so I'm really kind of interested to see what price are these going to launch at, because man, if the high end XReals last year were in that $500 to $600 range, these ones definitely look to be taking everything a step up. So, and you got the ROG co-branding, which, kind of also, raises that price a little bit. Man, I think these are going to be expensive, but they look super awesome. And if you are an owner of an Xbox ROG Ally or Ally X, this could be like an essential travel companion to you. If you're somebody who has any kind of like, bus ride or train ride, or you have to take Uber, like a long ride, commutes to work, or, anything like that. Or, maybe you're just on a work break, you get an hour lunch, but you're, too far away to, travel back home or whatever. And you just want to use your hour lunch break or whatever to game. Maybe you go to the cafe or the coffee shop or whatever, sit there with your glasses looking crazy, playing your game. I mean, hey, I would love to see that if I walked into like a Starbucks or something. I think it would be absolutely crazy. And I would love to see like the reaction to people. I'm not going to do it myself because I'm not looking for people to be bothering me all the time. But have you ever seen these out in public? I haven't. I would imagine if you fly a lot, you probably see them on planes more often than you'll see them, just out and about like coffee shops and stuff like that. But I think these are absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see like the official announcement, see like how much are these going to be? And are you guys interested in picking this one up? I think they're very compelling. Let me know in the comments or write into the show at blame.games.hr. And, maybe we'll read your response to these on the show next week. All right, let's go ahead and move on to item number 3 for the week. Okay, and this one comes to us by way of the NVIDIA GeForce blog. A new native GeForce Now app for Linux PCs answers one of the top requests from the PC gaming community. Linux users can transform their compatible systems into GeForce Now RTX-powered gaming rigs, streaming supported PC titles from the cloud at up to 5K resolutions and 120 FPS, or 1080p resolutions at 360 FPS. The app is designed to bring a seamless, native experience that fits naturally into the Linux desktop workflows while giving access to the expansive GeForce Now library, turning everyday Linux devices into RTX gaming powerhouses. The app is expected to enter a beta release early this year. So this one's for all you Steam Deck users out there who have been kind of maligned to try to jump through all the hoops to get GeForce Now running on your Steam Deck or your SteamOS Legion Go 2 or whatever SteamOS Frankenstein devices you guys are out there running. But I think this is absolutely awesome. The native experience on Windows is typically why I use a Windows PC handheld to do my GeForce Now, just because it's super easy. You just load up the app. If I'm playing it handheld, I can go in and quickly change the settings, the resolutions and stuff to what I need them to be. Or if I've got it docked to the TV, I can crank up the resolution, the HDR, all that kind of stuff. So the app is really awesome and much better than using like a janky web interface and all that kind of stuff. So this is very exciting for Steam Deck users and SteamOS users. I know that I myself am looking much forward to this. So this is really big news. What do you guys think about this? Or is this going to let you maybe consider subscribing to GeForce Now? I think GeForce Now is an actually awesome experience. I mean, they do have free versions and like a $10 version and then a $20 version. If you're watching this show, I mean, let's be honest, you're probably more interested in the $20 version. But, so it is sometimes kind of hard to justify $20 extra a month whenever you still have to own the game and it still has to be compatible and all that kind of stuff. But, I typically, what I'll do is if it's usually like if I'm going to play a PC game and if my handheld maybe has a hard time running it, then I'll kind of look at, okay, let me subscribe to the Ultimate tier for 1 month, play the game, and then kind of let it go. So it's just not something that I keep on going because, I did that. I think I paid for maybe 6 months or a year last year, and I ended up not using it every month. It was just kind of like here and there I would need it. So, for me, it was just kind of like, I'm going to choose to use it this month, not this month, whatever. So let me know, are you guys using GeForce Now? Do you like it? I think it's actually an incredible way to extend the life of the handheld device that you have. So if you bought like an Xbox ROG Ally, or if you bought like a Steam Deck LCD, and like new games are coming out that you really want to play handheld that they just can't run very well on these handhelds, then I think GeForce Now is a great way to do that. The latency, I mean, at least where I live, it is incredible. It's damn near native. I mean, I almost can't even tell the difference. And the experience is just like top tier, like very good quality. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this GeForce Now native Linux app coming later this year, a beta soon. So you'll be able to do that hopefully, I would imagine probably maybe in the first quarter this year. But it does, since they said early this year, so we will have to see on that. All right, let's go ahead and move into our next item. Okay, so this one comes to us from Alex over at notebookcheck.net. MSI has decided to update the Claw A8 AI Plus again with a Glacier Blue edition. While the Glacier Blue edition is coming to market, MSI has also announced the Polar Void edition at the CES 2026 show. Unfortunately, this variant is not set to receive a full release, so details are still to be determined. They're dropping a brand new like Glacier Blue model. It's kind of like a bright light blue color, kind of like a baby blue almost. And also they're dropping another color, which is called the Polar Void version, which is kind of a purplish color. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Legion Go S models with SteamOS, that kind of like purple nebula color. This looks a little more brownish than the Legions do, but I think it looks really good. I think that's probably maybe the best color that they've had on this particular device. So are you guys thinking about picking up one of these now that there's some new colors? I still haven't had a chance to get my hands on one, and maybe we'll get to do that sometime this year. Hey, if anybody out there at MSI is watching, you can get a hold of me super easy, blame.games.hr@gmail.com or blameItonRyan@gmail.com. I don't care. Get in touch. Get in touch. I need some of your devices on the channel. There isn't any. There's none. Everybody listening would like to see about the MSI Claw devices. Send them over. Yeah, so what do you guys think about these two models? We've got the blue one, and we've got the kind of purplish, a little bit of a brown tint to it. I think that might be the best color that they've released so far on the MSI Claw. I still think the Claw 8 AI and the Claw A8 are two of the uglier handhelds, but whenever you get a little bit more of a darker color on the 8 AI Plus, I think it does look a little bit better. I saw a post on Reddit where somebody had some kind of like, it was almost like a skin, but I think it was like a 3D printed something, and it kind of made the front all kind of like a black textured look, and I was like, oh, that looks a lot better. I don't know why MSI doesn't just do a black version, but I may not love the design physically of the MSI devices, but I am still very intrigued to get my hands on one. They are very high end. That 8 AI Plus has really become like kind of a performance hero for early adopters of that one that were maybe mocked a little bit last year. They're kind of reaping all the rewards of driver updates and stuff now, because those are performing quite well against the Z2 Extremes. So that's maybe a good segue to also talk about the MSI Claw A8, which has not been available at all in the US. So let's go to our next story. The MSI Claw A8 gets its US release at $1,149. Comes with the Z2 Extreme, 24 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte storage. Shows up at bestbuy.com and BH Photo Video. Units could be shipping as early as January 16th. So what do you guys think about the MSI Claw A8? So this was the like bright green and white models that were out internationally that have not been available in the US. They kind of have like a really kind of like edgy looking design, really angular all over the place. I've seen from some impression videos online where a lot of people kind of thought they were like cheap and chintzy, but perhaps maybe MSI is more going for like lightweight, which sometimes lightweight on a handheld can feel cheap and chintzy. So I haven't personally held either of these MSI devices. I think this is maybe a little bit less appealing to me compared to the 8 AI Plus. I think is a little more appealing to me, just because of the different chip in it that I haven't not had a chance to kind of play with. I've already got a Z2E chip, and with 32 gigs RAM instead of 24. I think 24 gigabytes of RAM in 2026, I think, is totally fine. So if you're interested in picking up the A8, I believe you can pre-order right now on BH Photo Video. At the time of recording, Best Buy did have the listing up, but it still said coming soon. So I don't know if it already sold out or if they haven't started taking orders on it yet. But either way, if you're interested in that one, if you've been waiting for it, it's go time. Are you going to pick one up? Let us know. Any comments down below. And of course, hey, right into the show, blame.games.hr@gmail.com. Okay, so for our next story, we're going to move away from the PC handheld world, and we're going to talk a little bit about some other handheld gaming devices that were announced at CES, and this one is pretty cool. So let's check out the press release notes on this one here right now. Hyperkin cross Gamesir X5 Alteron. Introducing the X5 Alteron controller, a collaborative partner project from Gamesir and Hyperkin, merging two industry leaders' expertise for a one-of-a-kind gaming accessory. Okay, so this one is pretty cool for any of you guys out there that do use your phone to game, or maybe a small tablet or something like that, and you've been using, like the clamping style controllers. We had one of the very first videos on the channel was about the Nomad, the Scuff Nomad kind of clamping phone controller, which I liked the build of a whole lot, but the Bluetooth connectivity was kind of not very good on that one. And this one looks like it works off of Bluetooth too, which is a little bit disappointing. But when you're making these devices for a wide range of products, it kind of makes sense for it to be Bluetooth. And with the newer versions of Bluetooth, the latency is supposed to be pretty good. So hopefully the connectivity issues on this are going to be good. But the really cool thing about this is it's going to be sort of modular. So you'll be able to sort of like swap out the sticks and the buttons to your liking. And they're going to have like a few different sets of modules that they're still trying to determine if they're going to ship them all together in one big package, or if they're going to ship like a base unit and then sell you the modules separately. All of that stuff is kind of to be determined. This is really just kind of like the announcement that, hey, it's coming sometime this year. If I were to guess, I would probably guess that they probably include one already in the controller and maybe one extra, and then they probably sell additional ones outside of that. It seems to probably make the most sense. And then maybe that they do a bundle or really, I think the smartest thing to do is just have a customizable website so you could sell direct to consumer and they could pick which ones that they want. Kind of allows the customer to get exactly what they want, and helps the companies avoid, kind of the middleman expense and be able to kind of sell a little bit of a more niche product like this. I think this is super cool. I don't really game on my phone much, as you guys know. I'm a little bit older, so I need even those 7-inch ROG Xbox handhelds are hard for me to play on because those screens are so small. So I typically don't game on my phone, but I do like these, and I do think they are kind of cool. And I wouldn't be opposed to, the bigger ones to clamp onto like my iPad Pro 13-inch, which is absolutely ridiculous. I did try one of those out last summer. I think it was the Razer one, which was, I honestly just thought that the price point that they were selling it at for the quality of it, I didn't really think it was really worth the $200 price point. If it was like maybe $100, I would probably have kept it just to kind of sometimes play on that iPad Pro, like that Tandem OLED is just absolutely sick. So especially playing like remote play PS5 with like HDR and all that stuff. In that instance, the clamping controller I think is pretty cool. But a lot of people do love these, and I think this is probably one that I would be more interested in than other ones, especially with that modularity of it, where maybe, you've got the D-pad at the top left, you're going to be playing like a 2D game or whatever, and then, you're going to go to a 3D game, you just plop it out and plop it back in the other way, and now you've got the stick where you want it. I think that's awesome. I think that's a really great way to handle something like this. So this is super cool. I don't know if you guys are interested in it, definitely let me know, but I thought it was a kind of a cool product reveal, and I think it's something that if you're in the market for one of these, or if you already have one, maybe you're looking to upgrade it to a little bit more of a newer version that has some flexibility, some modularity to it. I think this is going to be a pretty cool option for you. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next story. And this one comes to us from Rebecca Spear over at Windows Central, and she says, When I asked an Acer PR representative to comment on why the Nitro Blaze handhelds weren't making an appearance at CES 2026, I was told, "This is an emerging product category that remains on Acer's US roadmap, but our local launch plans are to be determined. As we continue to navigate the tariff situation, we're currently focused on our core products. When products become available in the US, we'll let you know." That's their friendly way of saying that these ain't coming out. They're probably canned. You know, maybe they do still have them on the roadmap, but if it was the tariffs that were holding them back from releasing them, if they didn't already scale up production, which why would you if you're not going to release them because of the tariffs? Then the RAM prices and storage prices are going to just make that totally even worse. So I don't think we're ever going to see the Nitro Blaze that they showed off at last year's CES, which is kind of disappointing because it was going to be yet another kind of more mainstream set of handhelds. I believe it was a 9-inch Nitro Blaze and an 11-inch with detachable controllers, all that kind of stuff. So really Legion Go 2 type competitor. So I was kind of excited about it. An 11-inch tablet is really big, handheld. I mean, that's kind of like there is one of those available, which is that absolute one, that kind of 10-cent one they showed off last year with the faux 3D effects, which actually does look really cool. I don't think that we're going to see these. These were something that I was still hoping that were maybe going to come out this year. Definitely something that I wanted to kind of, take a look at, try out. But it looks like I don't think we're probably going to see these, maybe ever. So have you been waiting on the Acer, Nitro Blaze handhelds? Were you thinking about getting one? Did that 11-inch? Was that really appealing to a big enough market to produce those? When I looked at that Absolute, the 2D, 3D model that they kickstarted, I was like, I'm really the demographic for that. And even I had a hard time. I was like, man, $1,500. It kind of seems underpowered. The battery life absolutely is atrocious on that thing. It is super cool, but it's just like, it's kind of like a tech demo type thing. And the last time I checked on it, there was a few hundred orders on it, which I think is really cool, but that is like niche of niche of niche of niche. I mean, that is like a very tiny market. So I am kind of curious if there is a big market for the 11-inch bigger handhelds. I was certainly interested in it, but was I going to get one? I don't know. I was one of those, I was like, I want to see what people think of it that get their actual hands on it before I would even have considered getting one. So kind of a bummer I wasn't at CES last year because I didn't even get to play with it, which I actually did have a chance to go to CES this year. I did get credentialed and approved to go, thanks to all of you guys watching the channel and as much as you do. But I just figured, hey, we haven't even hit the 1,000 subscribers yet. We're getting really close. So if you haven't done that, hey, help us out. Just hit that button. It's totally free to do. And maybe we can get over 1,000. But I figured probably not the best investment to, take a trip out to Vegas to CES whenever the channel is not making a whole lot of money. But we do have some members out there. So, hey, if you are a member, shout out to you. Super appreciate you. If you would like to support the work that I do here on the channel and the show, that membership on YouTube will go a long way to do that. Certainly optional. You don't have to do that. But hey, if you haven't subscribed, at least subscribe so we can get over that 1,000 so we can at least get some like ad revenue or something. Some kind of incentive to continue doing all this work for you guys. Okay, so our next news story is about MCON. Do you guys know who MCON is? Did you see this kind of like a collaborative controller? I remember when it was kickstarted, it was like some kid had this like dream of something that he was trying to do, and he was reaching out to all these different companies to try to get somebody to help him make it. And MCON was the one that kind of said, hey, let's partner up and do that. I don't know if that was just marketing or if that's actually a true story or what. But the MCON product, I believe it was supposed to start shipping in August. I don't know whatever happened to it. I was thinking about getting one, like even though I don't play on my phone. I thought it was kind of cool. Like you put your phone on it and it would like flip up, and then you've got all your controls and stuff underneath. I thought it was actually like a really cool idea. And I did actually kickstarted at one point, but I went ahead and canceled. I was like, I'm just not going to play on my phone. So I just really didn't need it. But they did announce 2 new models, and it's actually interesting. I'm going to show it on screen here. This is their Kickstarter post, which I guess maybe they've had some manufacturing problems, because the post starts with like an apology and a kind of an explanation about like what's next with shipping and how these 2 new models are not going to affect like current orders and stuff like that. So did you order the MCON? Have you got it? Did you have any issues with it? Definitely let me know. I'd love to hear about your experience. Leave me a comment or write into the show at blame.games.hr@gmail.com. And but yeah, so they've announced basically 2 new models, and these are the Slim and the Lite versions. So basically, it's like kind of one. It looks like it kind of has like a flat sticks, and the other one looks like maybe even touchpads. I really didn't get a super good look at it. But I'll show those 2 versions on the screen. So if you're interested in those, they said those are going to be coming later on this year. This is just kind of the announcement that these are going to be available later on in the year. They're not up for pre-order or anything like that. And based on the beginning of that post, I would guess that they want to go ahead and fulfill their obligations before they start selling these, which I think would be really smart. So yeah, are you guys interested in that? Let me know. Okay, for our next news story, we're going to kind of jump back into the world of PC handhelds with this announcement from Ventiva. Ventiva showed off a Legion Go 2 at CES running with their kind of new fanless cooling technology. Now, I didn't find any kind of press release specifically related to the Legion Go 2, but the basic premise of what they're trying to do is fanless cooling, which would be absolutely awesome for PC handhelds. So if this kind of technology ends up working and being efficient and taking off, maybe we have a future where more and more laptops are able to run fanless, more and more gaming handhelds are able to run fanless as well. But I thought that was just kind of a super cool story. So if you are interested in kind of checking out that technology, you can check out their website, ventiva.com. Just kind of a little blurb. I really didn't find like an official, a specific press release about the Legion Go 2, but I thought it was pretty cool since they are showing off a Legion Go 2 at CES. With this technology. So just wanted to let you guys know that it is out there, and hey, maybe we'll see that in the near future. Okay, and we're just going to finish off the news segment with a couple of smaller pieces of news. This one's not really handheld gaming related, but a lot of you guys are still console gamers like myself. I still love to play on the PS5, do obviously tons of remote play, which I've told you guys about that on the channel. Love the Portal, but they are releasing some new colors of controllers and console covers as well. And the interesting thing about this is that they're not releasing PS Pro versions of these colors. Whoever is running the hardware division that is in charge of like these special editions and these color variants, you should probably give me a call, or maybe just somebody who's a little bit more in tune with like what people who are collecting this stuff or want these special editions are really looking for, because this is once again a very like kind of, I don't want to say bland, because these colors are bright as hell. It's kind of like a bright color gradient that fades into black. I think these are of some of the more recent stuff they've released. I think these are fine. These are not for me. I think they look good. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are interested in it. I think the people who may be most interested in this kind of stuff would be PlayStation 5 Pro users, which are going to be like your most enthusiastic kind of customer base. And once again, they are left out in the cold. No console coverage for you. You're going to have to settle with just one of the controller variants if you want. Typically, my favorite color is blue. I love blue, but even this blue controller doesn't really look that appealing. I think that green and black one looks really cool, and especially for you Xbox players who are jumping into PlayStation, maybe you could feel at home using your green and black PlayStation 5 controller with your new PS5, since you just chucked your Xbox out the window. Again, I know it's not handheld related. It is gaming related, and so I know a lot of you guys are console gamers too, so I thought we would maybe just cover that little small news story on the show. But we will also jump to our next little story as well, which is another console manufacturer. This one is handheld related though, and this one is much more boring. These are the first kind of special edition, different color variant of Nintendo Switch Joycon controllers, and if PlayStation is struggling with their special edition controllers, I mean, Nintendo, what are you all doing? Who even cares? Like the special edition on these colors, it's like the little ring around the Joycon stick, and then the inside, which is like connected to the Switch 2 anyway, most of the time. So, like, if I'm wrong, please let me know. Right into the show, leave me a comment down below. But I think these don't appeal to me at all. They're not even cool colors. You know, hey, maybe if you give me a nice like orange and blue one, maybe I'd be interested in it. But even then, I'm not. I mean, these suck. All right, so that's going to close out our news segment on the show this week. What did you guys think about CES 2026? Did I miss any stories of the show that should be pertinent and covered on the show? Please let me know by leaving a comment on the YouTube channel or writing into the show, blame.games.hr@gmail.com. I would love to hear about any stories that I might have missed, or if I got anything wrong during the news segments. Definitely let me know so I can kind of correct the record for everybody next week. But so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment of the show, which are what games I've been playing, where I kind of tell you about what games I've been playing, what I've been playing them on, kind of the experience of playing the games, like performance and stuff like that. And then also just about the games as well, because a lot of you guys that are watching the show, I think I play a wide range of games. So sometimes I might be playing something that you haven't heard of. You know, one of the games, obviously, I talked about in the show last week, Cronos The New Dawn. Posted about it on Twitter and, you know, found somebody that like had never even heard of it. And they were like, oh, I'm definitely getting this, which is totally crazy to me. So I like to also kind of share what I'm playing to maybe kind of enlighten you guys to some other games that you might not know about. So without further ado, let's jump into that portion of the show. Okay, so let's talk about the games I've been playing this week. I've really been playing 3 different games, mostly still Cronos, which I'll kind of save for the end because it's probably the one I'll talk maybe the longest about. But I'll start with a super popular one that you guys might know way more about than I do. Obviously, the super popular Arc Raiders. I don't really know why I jumped into it. I've had some requests on the channel for it for different things. I'm actually going to have a video coming out about it next week as well. So just definitely look forward to that if you like, you know, the handheld kind of videos, stuff like that. So I've been playing Arc Raiders just a little bit here. And, you know, if you're unaware, which I doubt it, you probably are, it is what's called an extraction shooter. So it's online multiplayer, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised that it's can kind of be played single player pretty well. Now I'm very early, so maybe once you get to the higher levels and like the, you know, all the other different maps and stuff like that, maybe people are more aggressive. But so far, probably just a few levels into the game, mostly has been pretty much a solo type experience. Definitely encountered some people. Like my first kind of round in the game, I was like, I don't even know anything about this game. I don't know what's going on in the game. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in the game. Just kind of was like, hey, go in and get some wires and come back, you know, kind of a deal. So I ran into some guy and he was like, you know, he was super friendly, was very chatty. He was like, yeah, what do you need? Let's go do this. Let's go do that. He's like, oh, there's, you know, something's out there trying to, you know, kind of wait for us to come out and it's going to kill us or whatever. And so the other players that I've kind of run into that do talk are pretty super friendly. And I felt like a total idiot because I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just like grabbing stuff and like my backpack's full, so we can go whenever you want type of a deal. So that guy was like, this guy's an idiot probably. And he wasn't wrong. But so it's really fun. I'm actually surprised with, so I played on PS5 Pro and I've played it on the big screen, and I have played via a PlayStation Portal as well. And I actually think it plays quite well, remote play. You know, a lot of times online games, you really need like, you know, that ultra low latency and stuff to be competitive. But so far, this has really not been that type of game. I did run into one guy that was kind of griefing people and definitely got me, you know, jokes on him. I didn't have anything. I just kind of like walked into that building and he shot me and killed me. But actually, he had shot. Okay, let me just set it up for you. So what happened was I walked into this building and first I saw this guy kind of like shooting, you know, kind of toward, it was like around the corner. So I could see this guy, but not see like who he was shooting at. And so I kind of was like, man, I'm like, I don't really know, who is kind of the aggressor here. But then once I got close enough, the proximity chat kind of, kicked in, and like he was kind of like, dude, what's your problem? Kind of a deal. So I was like, let me jump in and try to help this guy. So I walked around the corner and fired off a couple of shots. Now I was also, I think, I don't know, I don't remember if I was recording that for a video or not, but basically I don't know. I didn't kill him. He killed me. So basically what ended up happening was that guy killed both of us. But I thought it was kind of cool that you kind of can get in those situations where it's like, you just encounter like two people, like one guy doesn't want to fight, the other guy's going to fight no matter what. And you can kind of like team up and then, go at this other guy. So that would have been really cool if I was like any good at the game, which, I just really hadn't even fired a shot until then. So, but yeah, I don't remember if that's on the video I recorded or not. So watch the video next week. You'll find out and probably be disappointed that that was not in the video. I don't know. But anyway, so I think the game is really cool. I think it looks really great. It runs really good on PS5 Pro. Playing it via PlayStation Portal, I thought it, felt really good. I was able to kill like the arc little, drones and stuff like that, no problem. And now when I'm playing it on camera and like holding it, like you gotta kind of like hold it flat, and you're kind of like looking at a weird angle. And I'm old, so I don't have that close sight anyway. Not the best at shooting in that situation. So if you watch the video next week, you guys can make fun of me for my bad aiming, because I just couldn't really see what the hell I was doing, to be honest with you. But for the most part, aiming and stuff seems pretty easy. Like, I don't think it'll be a super challenging game to play. But what I really liked about it was, like, I like the gathering resources stuff. So this is kind of like right up my alley. I was just talking about that last week with Cronos The New Dawn, where like part of the fun is like I like just like kind of scouring and like checking all the drawer, like all the nooks and crannies, getting all the stuff. I like doing that. I like being the one that's like, I'm gonna get all this stuff, So the game is really kind of centered around that. It's like, hey, you got to go in now. You're looking for specific things in Arc Raiders versus, just trying to gather up everything. It's like, okay, you're going to look for these specific things, and then, need to get out and get them back to us, kind of a deal, which is cool. Like, you can kind of play it however you want. You can get more stuff, and I think that's all the better. But it kind of gives you like certain quests, like, okay, you need to go in and do this, and hey, while you're in there, you need to kill like a certain number of these drones or whatever. I'm sure that quests get like way more complicated and way more to do later on. I'm just at the very beginning of the game, but I thought it was pretty fun. I'm not an online gamer. I typically don't play online games. I think what's cool about playing on PS5 is the DualSense controller. It has everything you need already built in for the chat. So it has the speaker, it has the microphone and everything. So it's like, you don't even have to wear a headset or anything at all. So I think that is pretty cool. And I also thought that, the game itself, it runs beautiful. It looks beautiful. And I had a lot of fun. That's really all I have to say about it so far. Is I can see why it is super popular. And for me, it kind of gives me hope about another game that's coming out later this year that I really was very interested in because of the art style and the studio making it. I didn't play, I played Destiny 1, like the original beta version. I think actually I played the alpha version, and I was kind of like, back then it was like, I was expecting like, a Halo type experience from Bungie, and they were just like kind of doing something different for the first time. And so I was like, I just didn't get it at the time. So I was like, this ain't for me. So I never jumped back into Destiny ever again after that. But whenever they announced Marathon, I was like, man, this looks awesome. Like, the art style on it looked absolutely incredible. Bungie's got really good gunplay. I love that like first person, kind of experience. And it's an extraction shooter. So that means it's kind of like Arc Raiders, like where you're going to be going in, you've got some kind of goal to accomplish and then try to get out type of a deal. Now, I think Marathon is much more in the, PvP, so maybe be a lot more action, a lot more shooting each other. So I still don't know if that one is going to be for me or not, but I think Arc Raiders is a game that I might just pick up and play here and there. So if I'm like maybe playing a main, I usually just play one main game at a time pretty much, but if I get into a point where it's like, I'm just, just ready, just like, I just need something different for a few minutes or, for an evening or whatever, I might jump into Arc Raiders and play that because it definitely seemed like a lot of fun so far. So second game I've been playing is Dispatch, which if you're not aware about Dispatch, it is a Telltale style game. So those are like the kind of like choice based, story driven. A lot of times they're in like a comic book style type game. So like when you think of Telltale games, think of like the Walking Dead season 1, season 2. Think of like the Batman, Telltale series, or like the Wolf Among Us, or like Tales from the Borderlands. Those games are like really kind of choice and consequence based, where it's like gives you the illusion of choice. So you get to make choices along the way, and you kind of like branches you outward and then kind of like pulls you back in at the end. So it's that type of a game, like where you have the choice and consequence, so you can kind of go down to like the different branching paths and stuff like that. But what's cool about the gameplay, there's no like, you don't like control your character and like walk around or anything like that. All of the gameplay is done through like kind of like mini games. So like the main game is like, you're basically the premise of it is like you're a superhero organization, and you used to be a superhero, and your suit got destroyed, and you're like can't be a superhero anymore, but somebody thought you might have a little value of like helping other superheroes, like getting them to the right place to do the right job type of a deal. So basically you are the dispatcher, and you've got like a map, and it's got like different things all over the map that pop up like, hey, this event's happening here, we need a superhero here, this is something's happening here. It'll kind of give you like a few different parameters, like you need somebody fat. Like it gives you a description of what's happening, but it's basically telling you like, oh, you need somebody fast. Oh, you need somebody smart. Oh, you need somebody who's got like a really good shield, or somebody who's like really good at combat type stuff. So your job is to kind of like manage your team of, I think it's 7 or 8 people in all of these different events that are happening. And like, when you pick the event, like it'll give you like a kind of like a coverage map, and you got all those different metrics. So you've got like your combat, you've got like their shield, you got like their speed, you got like their charisma, and you got like their like how smart they are and stuff like that. And based on the event, it'll give you like a little triangle that you really need to meet. Like it doesn't give you that, but at the end you got to kind of figure out what that is, and you've got to pick the right superheroes that will give you the amount of coverage there. And so at the end of the event, it'll show you your little triangle of coverage that you needed to cover, and then the superheroes combined. And a lot of times you'll get over that, and it'll just kind of spin around there and give you the win. Or if you picked the wrong superhero for the job, it'll give you like no chance to win. So it's kind of a cool little mini game. I've never really played a mini game like that. Now the game does also have some other mini games, so like there'll be different things pop up where you got to like hack the system or whatever, and it's kind of stupid. It's not really that involved. It's like you just kind of follow a little map around, and it's like sometimes you have to enter a little code, and then sometimes you have to like unlock this route, enter a code, and go this way to open this little route, to put in a code here to get back to this route to get to the end thing to drop the thing to hack the system or whatever. So that mini game's fine. It gets harder as you go. I don't really care one way or the other. I think the dispatching gameplay is a lot more fun, but the art style of it, it's I don't even know what you call it. It's like very comic booky type superhero. It's kind of like what you would expect from like something like Invincible or something like that. I don't really read that kind of stuff very often or play games like that very often, so I'm not the best one to describe what it looks like, but it's animated, and I think it's really beautiful. It's very well done. The acting in the game, so the voice acting is really great. So the main the dispatcher that you're playing is Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. And if you didn't know that, you might have a hard time picking up that it is Aaron Paul. I think he did a really great job at this, because if you watch him in Breaking Bad, I mean, he has like a certain kind of like personality and the way he does his voice and inflections and stuff like that. In this game, it's a lot different. So, and obviously his character doesn't look like him or anything like that. So if you didn't know, you might not know, but I think he does a really great job, and all of the rest of the characters are also very well voice acted. Super fun game. I think definitely worth playing. The reason I'm kind of playing it now is I've already played through a full playthrough, so I'm kind of like doing a second playthrough and doing like kind of like the opposite of everything I did the first time to kind of clean up the trophies and then also just see what's different about doing things with all of the other choices. You know, there is romance options in the game, so if you like to try to like do some romance stuff, it does allow you to do that. Basically, there's two main choices there. You've got the like the blonde bombshell superhero choice, or the like kind of ragtag you know, the bad girl, the Invisigal or whatever, which I guess apparently more people picked Invisigal than picked the blonde bombshell. I picked the blonde bombshell. I mean, I thought she was super cool. But so now I'm doing the other playthrough with the Invisigal kind of romance. We'll do it that way. And then I might have to do it again. I don't remember what you have to do to get all the trophies. Maybe you have to do like no romances, but so I'm working through my second playthrough. Now I'm just kind of like just doing an episode here, episode there. I think I've maybe done 2 on the second playthrough. But definitely recommend, if you like Telltale style games, definitely give that one a check. I think it's a really good game. And then finally, the last game that I am playing is Cronos The New Dawn. I'm probably 15 or so hours into it now, so like I'm in the last probably quarter of the game. And this game is awesome, man. I really just can't recommend it enough. Even like I told you guys before, like I'm not a big survival horror, like scary guy fan of games. Like I like the Resident Evil games, but I like the elements of them that are not like scary or horror. Like some of the scary or horror stuff I usually just kind of find annoying. And in this game, there is some of that too. But for the most part, like I think this one is like kind of like the one of the lesser horror-y type, you know, survival horror games, if that even. It's not. It's still survival horror. I don't really even know what I'm trying to say here, except for it's got a really cool sci-fi vibe, aesthetic, story. Like you're a traveler, and the reason you're a traveler is like you're a time traveler. So you're kind of sent in to like get these different entities from different points of time and kind of pull them back. You don't really know why or what you're doing, and that's kind of like the mystery that's unfolding. Like as you go, you're trying to also uncover more of like what happened, like why is the world this way? Did we cause it? The travelers cause it? Or are the travelers trying to fix it, type of a deal? So it is super cool. I definitely recommend it. The gameplay is super fun. So I'm way further into the game now. So I've got like 4 of the weapons. And I think there's actually 8 weapons in the game. So I still got quite a bit of weapons to get. But you get just basically more power. So like first you get your kind of like your main gun, and that's actually my favorite gun, and that's the one I'm upgrading the most because I like it the most. I just like that you get kind of like you can get and make the most bullets for it, and I like the charge up single shot action on it. But you get another version of that gun that's like an automatic version, which I'm like, I don't want to waste all my ammo like that. I'd rather just like charge it up and shoot it, so I've actually not messed with that gun at all. Probably a mistake, but I just like put that in the safe. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with that. The next one you get is a shotgun. Shotgun, obviously super cool. I think if you kind of, you know, level that up, I bet it gets better and better because it's a little slow, and you know, you only get to 2 bullets at a time. As you upgrade it, you get, you know, maybe 3 in a clip, and the charging is faster. So kind of a devastating weapon. Love the shotgun. And then the next one you get is like an automatic kind of like a rifle thing, and you can fit I think it's like at first you can fit 9 bullets in the clip. I think later you can get like 18 in the clip, and probably more and more and more. And that one is super fun. And the point of the game, I just got to this point in the game. It's like really later in the game, and you go into this room, and there's like a door, and then right next to the door is like one of your like safe things. And any other time in the game, this safe thing also happened. Like this, where you can put items in and take them out, right? So it's like your storage box. And any other time in the game that you had a storage box available, you had all the other stuff. So you had like the store, you had the save, you had all that stuff. And I was like, just a storage box. Like, I already know what's going to happen. This is going to be like some kind of big fight on the other end of this. But the thing was, I didn't have that much stuff. I only had like a certain number of bullets. And so when I went through that door, yeah, there was a big fight. And what was fun about it is, again, I talked about I really don't like dying a whole lot. But in this particular instance, I was like, you know, so far the game has been manageable in terms of like, no matter what the circumstance, there's always tools available to make it through. And so I did die a bunch, probably between 5 and 10 times. I don't know. I spent like 30 minutes trying and dying over and over. And I mean, a run could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It just depends on like how far you get before the thing kills you. And it was super satisfying to be like, you know what, I'm not going to like, oh, and actually this point, you couldn't go back. It cut you off from going back. So thanks a lot, Bloober Team, on that one. So it was like, you better figure it out or you're done playing the game. And so I ended up figuring it out and killing that boss. So that was super cool. And at the time, I hated that they did that to me, that you basically, you're screwed. You got what you got and you got whatever's in that area and that's it. And again, the game does a good job of making sure there's going to always be enough there to get the job done. But I kind of hated it at the time. I just wanted to go back to the store and like load up on bullets and stuff just so I could make it easier. But after I died a whole bunch, it was super satisfying to get that kill. And still, again, just like many other times in the game, got the kill with like, I'm red, I'm out of bullets, I'm out of health. I was like, the next shot, I was kind of a dead type of a thing. And actually, the achievement for killing him popped before I even knew I killed him. It was like, boom, it was like just a moment of relief. So super cool game. Lots of instances like that in the game. But I really love just kind of like, walking around in these different areas, searching the different things. There's lots of like just different environmental, puzzles and stuff. And like at one point you get these gravity boots that allow you to there's different points in the game where like there's like these little grav pads where you can like shoot from like one thing to another area kind of a deal. And so you got to kind of like make sure you're on the right path with that stuff. Super fun. I think the game is awesome. I really hope that more people pick it up. If you guys are watching this, I hope that you give it a chance. Even if you're not super into survival horror, I think it is still fun if you can manage through that. Like if maybe you played Alan Wake, but maybe you won't play Resident Evil or something like that. If you made it through Alan Wake, I think you can make it through this. Wonderful game. Awesome. I can't wait to finish it. I'm getting really close to the end. So what are you guys playing? Are you guys playing anything interesting right now? I'm almost done with Cronos. So I need to decide, am I going to move on to another game or am I going to do the New Game Plus and try to clean up the trophies? I've already got kind of a few games on tap that I've downloaded to try to make sure I've got something to play when I finish it so I don't get that like choice paralysis. PlayStation pinged me with a game I wishlisted sometime. I think it was at the end of summer called Echoes of the End. I don't even know what that game is. It just like it looked like a lower budget, maybe fantasy RPG. I don't know. You guys know what that game is? I don't even remember. I just remember I was like, I liked it enough to maybe wishlist it to possibly play it. It was on sale for like $19. It's like, okay, I'll buy it, I'll download it. Maybe I'll play that one next. You guys let me know. Is that a good decision or am I making a mistake with that one? Also, The Witcher 3 Complete Edition was on sale for $10. Now, I own The Witcher 3 on the PS, I don't know, 3 or 4. I don't even know. But I tried that game a long time ago and I didn't really love the combat and just kind of got overwhelmed with like the amount of stuff to do in the game and kind of fell off it. But, I've kind of been thinking about, Witcher 4 is going to be coming up, next couple years. There's a lot of rumors that there's going to be a new Witcher 3 DLC dropping this year, which is, maybe going to be really good. So I've been thinking about maybe playing a Witcher 3. So let me know which one I should choose or which direction I should go or play, or maybe which one you guys would like me to talk about on the show coming up. So, but definitely let me know, hey, what are you guys playing? Maybe you know about a game or playing a game that I don't know about. I would love to hear about those. Definitely leave me a comment down below or write into the show. Of course, blame.game.hr@gmail.com. And that brings us into the final portion of the show. So that's the listener inquiries. We just got one this week, but I'm going to go ahead and read that because, hey, if you're the only one, you're getting read on the show. So let's move into the third segment. That's listener inquiries right now. Okay, at MIAG_VIP writes, I'm only interested in the next MSI Claw with Panther Lake at this point. Okay, so thank you very much for writing in, and I was going to try to pronounce the name, and I was like, MIAG. I'm old, so what do I think when I think about that? I think about adding an I on the end of it and calling you Miyagi, because, hey, grew up with Karate Kid. Probably totally wrong, so feel free to make fun of me in the comments for that one. But hey, thank you for your inquiry. The Panther Lake, chipset is going to be on the horizon. So I don't know that we're going to see any handhelds with that this year. Do you think that we will? Perhaps we will in the summer. I think a lot of these companies are putting plans for new devices on hold right now because of the problems with the RAM and storage prices kind of going out of control. And then you add on top of that the tariff situation. It's just really a difficult climate to sell these higher end handheld PCs right now. So I don't know. You let me know. Do you think we're going to see that this year? I'm not super sure. I'm not super convinced. We saw nothing at CES, so that kind of tells me the market is what it is right now. And so if you're interested in a PC handheld, I think maybe you should just go ahead and jump in with what's out there. But hey, what current handheld PC are you using right now? Definitely let us know if you like it, if you're looking to upgrade. What are some of the options that you guys are looking to upgrade to? You can leave a comment in the show here. There'll be a thread for next week's show. Of course, you can write into the email address as well, blame.games@hr@gmail.com if you would like to do it. But hey, I think that's going to be it for the show today, guys. I just want to say thank you guys very much for watching. I super appreciate all you guys interacting, liking all the videos, commenting on all the videos, subscribing to the channel. That would be super important to do if you have not done so already. And as always, I just tons of love to you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching the show. I love interacting with you. So hopefully we can get some more write-ins for next week's show. But that's going to put the wraps on episode 2 of Handheld Rewind, a weekly gaming news show. What do you guys think about the show? Is this heading in the right direction? Do you think we're going to have things to talk about every week? What kind of show, do we want to kind of tailor this into over time? Let me know. And with that, we will see you in the next one.